Shalom.
Welcome to Yahshua Temple. Those that are here and those that may watch it on TV, we thank you for letting us come into your home. And always our prayer that it be a blessing to you and that you can receive what the Ruach HaKodesh is saying to me and through me, and receive it and be a part of it and live it. We are in our second part of believer as a new person. We are believers, and as once we become believers, we become new people. We become new creatures.
Right.
I always say, in other words, we become new, we become alive. When we become a believer in Yahweh, we become alive. We are spiritually dead. I believe last week as we was in and we got down to where we have been risen from spiritual death. And we started in, stopped off in Mykayah, Ezekiel chapter 37 and 10 last week.
Yeah.
So, risen from spiritual death. We was risen from spiritual death once we received Yahweh and His Son as our Savior. In other words, we were spiritually dead until we come to the light, receive the light. So, that's why we become new creatures. Believers become new creatures, become new people in Yahweh. Because an old you is no more. When we become believers, then we leave that old person behind. That old man and that old woman no longer supposed to be there.
That's right.
We no longer have those characteristics of that old person.
Amen.
Doesn't say that they're not going to be trying to raise up his head against us, but
beat them down.
But we have the power to beat them down, and we don't have the desire to do that anymore. So we're going to pick it back up at Mykayah or Ezekiel chapter 37 and verse 10. Remember now, we're talking about believers. We're talking about new creatures. We're talking about new people. You're the same on the outside, but you're new on the inside.
Right.
So what's coming out on the inside, coming out into the light is not the same old stuff garbage used to come out.
Oh, that's right.
You're bringing out some knowledge about the Creator. And will give other people the opportunity to become like you, become a part of His Mykayah, become a part of His family. Praise our Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
All right, Mykayah chapter 37, and we're going to start at verse 9. We read 10, and we're going to start at verse 9 and 10. And it reads,
Then Amar he unto me, prophesy unto the wind. Prophesy, bond of Adam, and Amar to the wind. Thus Amar Yahweh Elohim, come from the four winds, O Neshama, and Neshama upon these slain, that they may Mykayah.
So they may live. We breathe on it so they may live. All right, so we know that we had to be breathed upon in order for us to be breathed. That breath of life, that new breath of life that would come up on us after we believe the word of Yahweh, we start believing His instructions, and then we got that new breath of life. Almost like the two witnesses when they breathe on them and they come back to life. Other people, they breathe on and they come back. So that breath of life, He quickened you, He reserved you, He restored you back to the life that He wanted you to have in the beginning once you accept His word, once you have followed His instruction. God was saying the book, when they call it the Torah, meaning His instructions. So He got instructions He wants us to follow, but the world that we live in don't want to follow these instructions. They don't want to follow them, and they don't want you to follow them. How about that?
That's right.
So, hey, if you don't want to follow them, don't follow them. Don't try to stop other people from following you. You ain't going nowhere when you don't want nobody else to go nowhere. That's, that's the way of Satan.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, so what we're talking about here is talking about this was a spiritual resurrection. This was a spiritual resurrection from a spiritual death that we were all in.
Right.
And all who have not accepted and become believers in His word are what? Still spiritually dead.
Right.
And if they die physically, and they're already spiritually dead,
Yeah.
you know what the end gonna be.
That's good.
So you need to get changed right now. So in it, what we read, you're talking about national. We got 2 or 3 words here. I just seen that the other night when I was looking at it. What he was talking about, these bones came to life. These bones came to life.
They did.
So we was just like bones. We came to life.
Hallelujah.
Praise our Yahweh. We came to life.
Yes.
We came to life because we prophesied. And the man that prophesied over to the bones, the cinder come up on the bones and the flesh up on the cinder. And then breath was breathed into them. And they became alive. Even though we would walk around breathing, but we didn't have the breath of life that we want. That breath of life that is eternal breath of life. A breath of life that's going to be there. Once you move, that physical move, but the resurrection comes, that breath of life will come back. You're going to be walking and reigning with the Malach, with Yahshua and the Malachs. Praise our Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Forever. So that sounds like a good deal, right? So let's act on it, right?
Right.
It said winds. Prophesy unto the wind, or unto the ruach.
Yeah.
So we need to know what it's always. Prophesy to the breath of life. One of my definitions said, breath of life. Prophesy unto the breath of life.
Okay.
So the ruach is functioning as breath of life. It's probably as your ruach. Okay, breath of life.
Okay.
So we want to know that. So in Psalm 104, verse 30, you can put that in your notes and read it when you get home. But it's talking about the breath of life. Prophesy, son of man, and say unto the wind, thus said Yahweh, come from the 4 winds, and what? Breathe. And what?
Breathe upon these slain that they may Mykayah.
Breathe. Oh, breath, right? One is breath and breathe, right?
Yeah.
And the one is breathe is supposed to be 5301. That's the one who's talking about the ruach.
Okay.
And the ruach upon these. The ruach came up on it, so that is the breath of life. The ruach is the breath of life. Okay?
Okay.
Upon these slain, right? Then you got the other one is breathe in verse 9 is like breath of life.
Okay.
The breath of life that comes up in verse 10 is also the breath of life. And the breath of life, what? Came up on the slain. And they what? Mykayah. They lived.
Yeah.
They were preserved or restored. Praise our Yahweh. So we were preserved, we were restored.
That's right.
Back to the state that Yahweh wanted to be when we accepted Him. So therefore it makes us new people, new creatures in Him. In the world we the same old creatures, we're the same old man, the same old, but in Him we are new.
It's good. It's good.
Praise our Yahweh.
Yeah.
So let's look at Luke chapter 15. Luke chapter 15. So people can't see this, but this is here in Luke. You should see this is like a allegory, but it's saying the same thing. How his son was spiritually dead, but now he's alive. He was lost, but now he's found. He wasn't physically lost, but spiritually lost. Once we separate from Yahweh, we become spiritually lost. So when we come back, then we become back. Now we are found. We have found ourselves again, right?
Yeah, right.
So in Luke chapter 15, and verse 24, and it reads,
For this my bond was moved, and is Mykayah again. He was lost and is found.
So what has happened is he had went away from his father's house, so now he's coming back. So he said, For this my son was moved. Because he left Yahweh, right?
Right.
And he is alive now. He's alive again. And he was lost and found. And they began to what? Be married. Began to be married. So when someone come into the body of Yahweh and then they get lost and they come back, we'll be what? Be married.
Amen.
Because they come back.
Right.
We shouldn't be sad. We should be married. We should be happy that they come back, that they found their way back.
Yeah.
Then the next one says, next verse says,
Now his elder bond was in the field, and as he came and drew nigh to Shabbat, he heard music and dancing.
yeah,
And he corralled one of YHWH and asked what these things meant.
so he want to know what it meant. And it says, verse 27 says,
And he amarred unto him, Thy ark is come, and thy Abba hath killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound.
well, he had received him safe and sound. He came back safe and sound.
Yes.
So people that come in and come into the truth of Yahweh and then get sidetracked,
Yeah.
when they come back, we are glad that they come back safe and sound.
Amen.
Okay?
Yes.
So they was like separated from Yahweh. Now they're back in tune with Yahweh.
Yeah.
Therefore, now we are happy.
Yeah.
So that's how we supposed to be. So, but there's like this, the elder brother, we have people like them that's not happy to see these people come back. Okay? There's enough maintenance for everybody.
It is.
Okay?
Right.
So why would you not be happy when someone come back?
Yeah.
When somebody has strayed, now they've got lost and come back, why would you be happy? You want them to stay lost? So if you have that kind of mind, then you're not become that new creature. You're not that new man. You're not that believer.
Right.
Okay, next verse says.
And he was angry and would not go in. Therefore came his Abba out and entreated him.
His father came out to entreat him, right?
Yeah.
Because he's angry. Because well, hey, I've been here, I've been doing all this stuff while he's going. He went out there and squandered all the money and everything. Now you're going to receive him back? Well, that's where Yahweh is. So it's just showing the Father, this physical Father is showing us how our Heavenly Father is towards us.
Yeah.
When we go out and splendor everything and then we come back and He receives us. He glad for us to come back. That we learn the lesson and we come back.
Excellent. Yes.
So He was like, hey, beside Himself, because He had come back. All right, next verse says,
And he answering Amar to his Abba, Lo, these many years do I ebed thee, neither transgressed I at any time thy mishpat. And yet thou never gavest me a kid that I might make merry with my Ra'ah.
You never gave me a kid. You never gave me a kid, so it's all about me. You never gave me a young goat, but you had them out there.
Yeah.
All you had to do is go get them. You were still here, right?
Right.
So, or they were there, all you had to do was ask the Father for, give me a goat. Because you was there. He wasn't there, but He wanted straight. But we see what Yahweh wants us to see here. We embrace what Yahweh wants us to embrace and understand that, hey, we was physically, spiritually dead. Now we've been spiritually resurrected. And we're going to be physically resurrected when Yahshua comes back.
Right.
Praise our Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
So we got the first part.
Yeah.
We're going to hold on so we can get the second part.
Right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Okay, praise our Yahweh. Look at Romans chapter 8. So remember, we were spiritually dead. We can't look and snub our nose up at all the people out there because we were in the same shape. We were once in the same predicament.
Right.
We were.
We were.
Thank God Yahweh that we saw the light, gravitated to the light.
Thank you, Father. Hallelujah.
I'll start at 8 and 10 and it reads, when you get it, Romans 8 and 10.
And if Mashiach be in you, HaGiviyah is moot because of Hata'ah. But our Ruach is Kai because of Sadaqah.
So we are Kai because of what? If Mashiach be in you, the body or the flesh is what? Moot, is dead because of sin.
Yeah.
The flesh is dead because of sin.
Right.
But the Ruach is life because of what? Righteousness, or Sadaqah.
Yeah.
That's how we get the life.
Yeah.
All right? Verse 11 says,
But if Ruach of him that raised up Yahshua from Hamuth dwell in you, he that raised up Mashiach from Hamuth shall also quicken your mortal Gibeah by his Ruach that dwelleth in you.
he's going to quicken you, or he's going to make you alive. Make you alive. Or he's going to restore you. All right?
Yeah.
Give you life. Praise our Yahweh. Quicken.
Spirit in
He
you.
wants to quicken you, your mortal body,
Yeah.
by his what? Ruach
Ruach.
that dwells in you. So his Ruach is, we want to, your mortal body by his spirit that dwells in you is going to quicken you. It's going to make that body alive.
Amen.
So brother is dead because of sin.
Right.
But the spirit of Yahweh makes it alive.
Okay.
Praise our Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
Therefore, we are debtors. We are debtors not to the flesh, but to what? Life after the flesh. Life after the flesh, or Mykayah after the flesh.
Yeah.
We're not debted to the flesh. But most people, that's where they cater to their flesh. So they debted to their flesh. Their flesh is the one they're trying to pay and please, rather than the spirit,
Yeah.
rather than the life that they need, rather than feed that inner person. What we're talking about, that inner man, that inner woman, that inner person, okay? The inner being, the thing that people don't see.
Amen.
That's right.
They don't see the inner person. They see the outer person. They see what come out of that person that they can physically see. But they don't know that there's something in here that's coming out. Somebody down there messing around because you bringing out what whoever you catering to, whether it's Yahweh or Satan, you're going to speak. And that's the person that they see. If you listen to Satan, you're going to speak the stuff that the world speak. So they're going to see Satan, not you. But they don't know that they seeing Satan. But that's what's happening because you giving them the thing that he wants you to give them. And the thing that he wants you to do. So they want to do the same thing as you want to do. So what we're supposed to be giving them, what Yahweh wants them to do. So when we want to be giving them these things, then they're supposed to see these things in us. They should see us doing these things.
Right.
Yahshua is our example, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So we are supposed to be an example to the people that we come in contact with.
Right.
All the world that see us, we supposed to be an example to them because we are representing Yahshua. And Yahshua is in us, right?
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So, they supposed to see his goodness in us. Then they can know for sure. Well, some will, some won't. They won't accept it, but that's on them.
Right.
That you have been resurrected, spiritually resurrected from your death that you was under while you was in sin. But now you no longer in sin, you see. But here's the Ruach of him that raised up Yahshua. So the Ruach of him that raised up Yahshua was who? Yahweh.
Right. Yeah.
From the moot dwells in you. If it dwells in you, if it dwells in me, he that raised Yahshua from moot shall also what? Quicken your mortal body. He's going to make your mortal body alive.
Right.
Or reserve it. Or restore it to the state that it's supposed to be. Okay? Praise Yahweh, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
Yes.
Hallelujah. Let's look at 11th chapter of Romans and verse 15. 11 and 15. 11 and 15. Give life to us. He's giving life to us.
He did.
Give
Great
life
job.
to us. He's going to give life to us again.
Yes.
Why? Because we are embracing it.
Abundant life. Yes.
Praise God, y'all. 8 in it. What is that? No, we read 8. I want 11:15. Okay, 11:15 says,
For if the casting away of them be the reconciling of the world, what shall the receiving of them be but Mykayah from Hamuth?
so as we receive, that means He receiving us from that spiritual death that we were. So in order for us to be received from that spiritual death, that means we have to do what? Repent, be baptized in the name of Yahshua, and start to follow His what? Manual. Follow His precept, follow His statutes, follow His laws. Do the things that please Him, not the things that please Satan. Not the things that please our flesh. When we supposed to have our flesh under subjection, right?
Right.
Praise our Yahweh.
Praise Yahweh.
So these are the things we have to get in check.
Okay.
These are things that we have to get in check. For if the casting away of them be the reconciliation of the world or the age, what shall the receiving of them be? But light from my vet. That's what it's going to be. That's what you want to be. That's how, if we live the way we're supposed to live, then this is going to happen to other people because they're going to see it. They're going to see you.
Amen.
And they're going to want to be like you.
Hallelujah.
In other words, they want to be like you because you want to be like Yahshua. Not so much just want to be like you, but they see you because that's the only one they see. They don't see Mashiach. They see him in you. So therefore, they think they're being like you, but they're really being like Mashiach because you being like Mashiach, right?
Hallelujah.
So it said, but if the first fruits be holy, the lump is also holy.
Yes.
And if the root be holy, so are the branches. So we know the root is holy.
Right.
We the branches, let's be holy.
Amen.
Because that's we own the what? The branches own the what? They own the tree or they own the land, whatever they attach to is holy.
Right.
Why would you be unholy when you attach to a holy branch, right? So why are you gonna bring forth corrupt fruit? The branch is holy, you supposed to be holy, the lump is holy,
Right.
and if the root be holy, the root is holy, and you are the branch, then you supposed to be holy, right?
That's
Right.
And
if some of the branches be broken off, and thou, being a wild olive tree, wert grafted in among them, and with them partakest of the root and fatness of the olive tree.
so it's talking about other people that wasn't really, that's not the DNA being Israel, but
right.
they were,
Yeah.
but the real Israel was broken off.
Right.
Some of the branches of them was broken off. Why? Because
Yeah.
of disobedience.
Yes.
That gave opportunity for these other
Yeah.
wild branches to be
Right.
drafted in.
Right. Yeah.
Basically talking about the other nations, all right?
Yeah.
So they could be attached to that holy root. So they could be holy and want to live holy and want to walk holy, right?
Right.
So that's what you do when you become a new believer, when you become a believer. When you become a believer, you want to believe what the words say.
Praise
I don't want to believe what the words say, you want to do what the words say. You want to be what the words say you will.
I do. You're right.
The word say you're a new creature. The word say you've been resurrected from your spiritual death.
Yeah.
You've been resurrected out your blindness that you was in,
Act like it. Right.
and spiritual darkness that you was in.
Yeah.
Now you're in the spiritual light.
Mhm.
Now that's where you want to be. You don't want to go back into darkness no more,
I
right?
don't.
No, never.
Nope.
Don't want to go back. Hallelujah.
So you shouldn't want to
Going
go back.
forward. Going forward.
Yeah.
All right. Let's look at Ephesians chapter 2. But remember, we have been raised from our spiritual death.
We have. That's right.
So we had a spiritual resurrection. You're going to have a spiritual resurrection when Yahshua come back. we what? Stay true to His word. If we continue to follow what He has asked us to do, right?
Right.
All right, Ephesians chapter 2. Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1. So it's not hard. It's only hard if you don't want to do it. Anything is hard. On the best job you ever think you want, when you get it, then it becomes hard because now you don't want to do it. But when you want to do it, it's not hard.
Right.
It's easy.
Easy enough.
Flesh, to the flesh is hard, but the spirit,
No.
which is the inner man, is not hard because it's been
Flesh.
renewed.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been renewed
Right.
by the Ruach Kodesh.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Well, therefore, we have to know that. We have to know what we have. If we don't know what we have, then we're always going to be weak. We can know what we have, but then the enemy is trying to take it away from us still. Oh, you don't really have it. But you do have it.
We do.
Because Yahweh said you have this in
Right.
these earthly vessels. These are earthly vessels that we
Right.
and we have this power in these earthly
Yeah.
vessels that Yahweh
Right.
has given us.
Uh-huh.
He's given us the power.
That's right.
Praise Yahweh.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Ephesians chapter 2 and verse 1 says,
And you hath He quickened,
yes, He have.
who were moved in trespasses and hatah.
Hear what He said. So that everybody that's now is a believer, everybody now has been spiritually resurrected from that spiritual death. One time was here. You just what He said, what the man just said. You and you have He quickened. You have He made alive,
Right.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
who were moved
Right.
in your transgression and sin. So we
Yeah.
were dead in our transgression
Word.
and sin. We were dead in our
Word.
transgression and sin. We were dead in our
Word.
transgression and sin
Yeah.
until we received the word of Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
And we made the change so that we
Right.
turn around.
Yeah.
So, I mean, in your life, you got to make a turn. You got to do a turnaround. Because you're heading the wrong way. Now you've been warned. When you heed to the warning, you turn around and you get rid from your transgressions and sin. You come out of death. But as long as you're in your transgressions and sin and hatah, you're what? Spiritually dead.
Right.
Physically you're alive, you breathe and look like everybody else. But spiritually you're dead.
Yes.
Again, if you're spiritually dead and you die physically, next stop, when that resurrection comes, which will be the second resurrection, you're going to be cast into the lake of fire. Some people don't believe that, but you're going to hear Brother Mykayah tell you that over and over and over again because the word of Yahweh said so.
That's right.
It's the truth.
Amen.
Right.
Some people want to minimize it, but hey, even if it, as they say, it's going to be just for a short time. I don't want to be burned for no time.
Amen.
Okay? So, I know they don't, because nobody want to be burned now in this life for no time. For a short time, spirit, long time, short time. When you burn your hand cooking, you don't want to be burned.
Right.
Okay?
Yeah.
Praise Yahweh, Yahweh.
Yahweh.
And you have He quickened or made alive who was moved, who was dead in trespasses and sin, or in trespasses and hatah.
Wherein in time past ye walked, according to the course of this world, according to Hanasi of Hamashel of the air, Haruach that now worketh in the children of disobedience.
So they were disobedient children. We were disobedient
Right.
children. We were walking in the course of the world. So the people who are not following Torah, they're walking in what? The course of this world. They're walking by
Right.
the guidance of Satan,
That's
Right.
right.
Yeah.
not by Yahweh.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's not where you want to go. That's
Yeah,
not where you want to go. That's not the place that you want to be in.
No problem.
He said, where in time past you was. Time past you walked according to the course of this world. According or the age of this world.
Just like
That's
them,
how you
right.
did.
Just like
How the
everybody
world is
else.
doing, that's where you want to walk in. Why? Because
Yeah.
that's what you're accustomed to.
Right.
No
You've
more.
been accustomed to
Everybody
that.
else.
You're raised
Right.
up in it, you're accustomed to that.
Right.
Now you have to get unaccustomed to that, but now because
Right.
you receive the word of Yahweh and find out that this stuff is not accurate, that you cannot do this and please Yahweh.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Everything that you were doing, you can't do that now and please Yahweh.
Right.
You got to give up some of it.
Right.
Amen. It's
Right.
not hard.
You got to give up all of it that is contrary to Yahweh.
That's right.
You can't just give up some sin. You got to give up all sin.
Hallelujah.
You got to give up all transgressions.
Amen.
Not some, all. The coast of this world, or the age of this world. We're not walking after the age of this world. If you want to continue to walk in the age of this world, you're going to find out, wind up in the place you don't want to be. According to the prince of the power of the air. And the prince of the power of the air is talking about Satan.
That's right.
The spirit that now works in the children of disobedience. So there's some children that disobedient. So this is in the New Testament. So therefore some disobedience going here. So if you can be disobedient, that means it's a law. I want to emphasize that. If I can be disobedient, then there's a law. So stop telling me that the law done away with. If the law is done away, I can't be disobedient. I cannot do nothing to be disobedient because I ain't got nothing to say. That is wrong.
Right.
If I don't give my children those guidelines, I can never say they being disobedient. I can never say they're not doing doing something that's not right. Because I ain't giving no
That's right.
standard to live by, right?
That's right.
Yahweh give us a standard to live by. He
Yes,
give us a
He
standard
has.
to walk by, standard to talk. So therefore, that's why He's telling us. Well, the Spirit now works in the children or the bonds of disobedience. That means those who transgress Yahweh's law. Those who rebel against His law.
Yeah.
Those who rebel against His word. They rebel against the thing that He says for them to do, and they rebel against Him to do the thing that He said for them not to do. So that's why the spirit, that means Satan's spirit, is working in them. So that's the spirit. Yahweh is not in them then. So they have caved in. So we don't cave in knowing that we are the stronger. You're not the weaker, you're the stronger.
That's right.
So why is he having an advantage over you? He should no longer have an advantage over you now, because you got the Ruach HaKodesh, which is the power of Yahweh. When you got the power of Yahweh, then Satan is no match for you.
No.
That's right.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Praise our Yahweh.
Praise our
We
Yahweh.
have to notice, we have to keep these things in mind, because the adversary is always around here trying to get, he don't want you to be made alive. But you have been made alive. You have to get it in your mind that you have been made alive.
That's right.
When you get it in your mind that you have been made alive, then you won't succumb to his influence.
Right.
Amen.
But you have to know that you've been made alive.
That's right.
But if you don't know that you've been made alive, you will succumb unto his influence.
That's right.
Yeah.
And then you will digress back into the place that you had come out.
Backward. Yeah.
You're going backwards and not forward anymore. Right? But if you really realize that you've been spiritually resurrected from your sin, or from that spiritual death, then you will no longer let him have advantage over you. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Praise God. Skip down to verse 6, and it says,
And hath raised us up together,
mm-hmm.
and made us sit together in Shemayim places in Mashiach Yahshua.
So he has raised us up together.
Yes. Yeah.
Brought us out of the dust and raised us up again. I should have read 5. He said, even when we were moot, or even we were dead in sin, he quickened us and made us alive together with Mashiach. By pain you are saved.
Hallelujah. Yes.
Yeah.
And have raised us up together and made us to sit together in Shemayim places in Hamashiach.
Right.
This is what he's done.
Right.
Once you made the change.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
Once you
It's done.
realize that you've been resurrected, spiritually resurrected from the dead, that death that you were born into because of Adam and Hawa's
Yeah.
sin,
Yeah.
and then you read the guideline that you're supposed to do, change your way,
Right.
change your attitude, change your outlook on life, change your thoughts about what the word of Yahweh said,
Right.
change about that's robbing me of fun. Studying the Bible robbing me of fun.
No. Satan.
The fun that is robbing you of is no good for you.
Right.
You can still have fun, but you can have fun in Yahweh and it'll be okay.
Right.
But the fun that they call, smoking crack, shooting up, getting drunk, fornicating, all that, that's fun for a season. But if the season is over, then there come consequences, okay?
Yeah.
But consequences that we serve Yahweh, the consequences that we're going to get from that is very good.
Yeah.
So, what are you telling us? This is what he's done for us. If we realize what he's done for us, and we really receive that he's quickened us, that he made us alive, that he has restored us back to life,
Right.
that he intended for us to have in the
We're
beginning.
back. Yes.
Why you want to give it up?
No.
If you enjoyed it, why you want to give it up? It should not be supposed to be steal your joy. So if something's stealing your joy, then you go back to what you thought was really joy, but it wasn't really joy.
No.
Okay, it's like again, I say it all the time that people that get drunk, and we had a good time last night. But when you woke up the next morning, you had a hangover, you were sick, you were throwing up, and
Good time.
but you had a good time. Well, how come the good time turning in now? It don't sound like a good time to me now, right?
Yeah.
It don't sound like a good time to you now, even though your crazy mind said, yeah, I had a good time.
That's right.
But now
Remember what
I'm
happened.
sick because it have not arrested, because the elder of this world has blinded you. So when the elder of this world blinds you, then you believe those kind of things. But when you become unblind, he always called us out of darkness into his marvelous. He called us away from that blindness that we were in, that we were held captive in that blindness, but now we've been delivered from that blindness. He sent somebody to deliver
Hallelujah.
people, the blind people,
Yeah.
deliver them, to give sight to the blind.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
The word of Yahweh gives you sight,
Yes, it does.
Praise God.
so you're no longer
See the fruit of
spiritually blind. Now you become, like you wasn't physically blind, but you were spiritually blind until the word of Yahweh, you receive the blood of Yahweh. Praise Yahweh.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
All right, let's look at chapter, Colossians chapter 2. But it's telling us, he said, and you have he quickened, or you have he made alive, who were dead.
Right.
He said, who were dead? Well,
Right.
you know you and I wasn't dead physically, but we was what? Spiritually dead.
Right. That's the truth.
Hallelujah. Said 2:13. Yeah, I said 3. And it goes to 2:13. Maybe it's 2:12 and then 13. Yeah. And read.
Buried with him in baptism, wherein also ye are risen with him through Ha-Eminah of the operation of Elohim, who has raised him from Hamut.
He's raised them from Hamut. So he raised them from Hamut. He's going to raise you from Hamut.
Hallelujah.
He's going to raise
Thank
you
Father.
from the dead.
Yeah.
So if you want to be raised from the dead, read Yahweh's word, receive what he says for you to do,
Yeah.
and you can be resurrected from that spiritual death that you are in, that Satan has laid up on you and made it look so desirable that you don't want to give it up. But if you look down through eons of time, you can see that, hey, it wasn't desirable, it wasn't good, it wasn't pleasant, and you see that everything was happening to you wasn't good,
Right.
even though you imagined that it was good, right? What the next verse says?
And you, being moved in your hatah and the uncircumcision of your flesh, hath he quickened together with him, having forgiven you all trespasses.
He's forgiving you. So your uncircumcised flesh, so that means your flesh that is uncircumcised to the word of Yahweh, to the things that Yahweh wants you to do, right?
Right.
It's out there doing everything that it want to do. It's untamed.
Right.
It don't want to be tamed. It don't want to be submissive to anything.
Right.
They want to just do what they want to do.
It does.
And you got Satan make it so if people eat things, they know that it's going to give them heartburn, but they okay, take this pill, and you don't have the heartburn. You eat the stuff, you got the heartburn, you just don't feel it because it's like that pill or whatever, it kills it, it numbs that heartburn, but you still got heartburn, you just don't know you got heartburn.
Right.
Okay? Or you still got indigestion and you just don't know that you got it because that medicine have what? It's like when you go to the dentist and they give you that shot, you know, pull that teeth out, you got pain, you don't know it because it's numb because they cook it. But when that thing wear out, you feel that pain, right?
That's right. That's right.
Well, this is what's happening here. Until it's wear off, until you let it wear off, until you receive the wear off, then you won't feel the pain. You let him stay, keep you numb, you won't feel the pain. But he's telling you over and over again, he has quickened you or he has made you alive again. Because you were dead. It made you alive again. Because you was dead. I was dead.
Right. Right.
He said. And you being dead in your sins. Boy, you dead in your sins. If you sinning, that means you dead.
That's right.
To Yahweh.
Yeah.
And the uncircumcised of your flesh. As he quickened. He's quickened it. So you look up quickened it, it made alive. He made it alive. Or preserved it, or restored you. You can look it up, I forgot what it was, like 24, I believe, 24, 21 in the Hebrew. Even though we read in New Testament, I'm still using Hebrew words.
Oh yeah.
Okay?
Right.
Made alive.
Okay.
Or restored.
Right.
So, this is what he did. He had quickened you and made you alive. To alive, made you alive together with him.
Yeah.
You become alive together with him. That's where you want to be at if you understand the word of Yahweh. You understand that he is the creator. You understand he's the one that created everything.
Yes.
You want to be made alive with him. And has forgiven you all of your trespasses. He's forgiven you all of your trespasses. Down, I know you want to see it. Okay, then, yeah, he will forgive you all your trespasses.
That's right.
When you come to him, he forgive you all the trespasses that you did up to that point. Till you did up to that point.
Keep down.
Okay, they have been forgiven.
Yes.
Now, you trespass some more after that, then they got to be forgiven.
Yes.
Some people say, well, so you can never trespass no more once you
That's
become
not true.
part of the body. That's not sound teaching. But it sounds good to my flesh that's uncircumcised that want to be able to do that.
Yeah.
All right? Praise God, Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
Is making sense?
Yes.
It is.
All right, chapter 3 and verse 1 in the same book. And it reads,
If ye then be risen with Mashiach, seek those things which are above, where Mashiach sitteth on Hayamain hand of Elohim.
so what he said, he made us to sit with him with the heavenly places, or in the heaven, in the places in heaven.
Right.
That's where it should be, in the place of in the heavens, okay? The places that he has for us in heaven. We are to be able to sit there, but he made us, right?
Right.
Because he has quickened us, he made us alive.
Yep.
We had to be alive, we had to be spiritually alive to be able to sit in these places.
Right. Right.
If you're not spiritually alive, then you're spiritually dead and you can't sit in these places.
Right.
No dead people, spiritual dead people gonna be in the Malkut.
No.
That's right.
Right.
Amen.
Right.
Thank you, Father.
If you then be risen with Hamashiach, seek those things which are above, where Hamashiach sits on the Yamin hand of Yah. So, we'll be sitting, seeking to buy you 7 mansions, $190,000 car, because you ain't gonna take that with you. And if you already got a mansion, why you need 7 mansions down here? Right?
Right.
Because you already got it. And already promised you that's what you have. If you do what he said, this has already been promised to you. This is already something, it's a done deal.
Right.
If you do what you're supposed to do, right?
Right.
Verse 2 says,
Set your affection on things above, not on things on high earth.
So he keep on telling us we need to set our affections where? On things above. So we need to know what things above that we need to be setting our affections on, right?
Right.
Setting our mind on. Setting our minds on something. We got to be setting our mind on something, right?
Affection of mind.
Setting our minds on things above, not on things on the area.
Yeah.
For we are not moved, and your car is hid with what? Hamashiach in Yahweh. So your life is hid in Him.
Right.
People can't see that. Blind people can't see it. But spiritual people that have been spiritual resurrected are supposed to be able to see that in us. We're supposed to be able to see it in them.
Amen.
Because we connected to that root,
Right.
which is holy. We are branches connected to the root that is holy. Praise our Yahweh.
Hallelujah.
He said, when Mashiach, who is also our Kai, or our life, shall appear, then shall you, or me, also appear with him in Kavod. That's what we want to do. That's what we got to do. But that's what Yahweh, in order for us to do that, we have to do what this next verse says. He said, modify, therefore, your members which are upon the area. Fornication, uncleanness, inordinate, affection, evil communication, evil concupiscence. This is just a big word for sin, okay?
Right.
And covetousness, which is idolatry, okay?
Yeah.
So you got to kill those things. Modify means put them to death.
Yeah.
Put those things to death. Put that uncircumcised flesh to death.
Yeah.
This is what the uncircumcised flesh want to do. This is what the uncircumcised flesh want to do. It wants to what? Fornicate.
Do his thing.
They want to do evil.
Yeah.
They want to covet,
Yeah.
which is idolatry. They want to do all those things. He say, but verse 6 it said, for which thing sake the wrath of Yahweh come upon the children of disobedience.
That's why it's
Is it just talking about back in the Old Testament, this is when the wrath of Yahweh is going to come? Or is it talking about what the wrath of Yahweh is coming up on in the future, where the wrath of Yahweh is on what? The children of disobedience.
Yeah.
Because those people are already moved. They're already there.
Yeah.
Their feet have been sealed. And they died in disobedience. Their fate have been sealed. They're talking about you and I that have this opportunity not to have that same fate.
Right. Yeah. Praise you.
Okay?
Thank you. Right.
Because he's saying,
Right.
so now we have a chance not to be disobedient children, so we won't come under this here fate, right?
Don't want
They want to come under this wrath. So he said, so it's just some things that you have to do. Once you become a believer, it's some things you have to do, some things you have to give up. Verse 7 continues to tell us what we will not have got to give up, right?
Right.
Verse 7 says,
In the which ye also walk sometime when ye Mykayah in them.
so you walked in them sometime when you Mykayah, talking about and you walked in them sometime when we was what?
Right.
In the world.
Yeah, right.
In the age.
Right.
Before we come to know.
Right. Right.
When we thought all these things was
Right.
fun. He said, in thee which you also walked sometime I mean, you didn't do it all the time, but sometimes,
Sometimes.
so sometimes it's too much right there.
Right. Right.
Because you could have died in that sometime,
Amen. That's
Yeah.
right.
then that would have been it.
Right.
Thank you, Father.
When you lived a Mykayah in them, you lived Mykayah and you lived in them, right?
Yes.
Right.
But now, so she's a change now when you come to believe, you say, but now, verse 8,
Yes.
but now,
Yes.
But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth.
all these things, we put them away. Okay, that's a part of that uncircumcised flesh,
Right.
that uncircumcised nature
Right.
that we have. We have to pull all that stuff out. That stuff has to be pulled out. That stuff we have to die to those things. We have to die to, because we was out there in the street and every other word was coming out with something like that. Okay.
No excuse my
That was just the talk.
Right.
We didn't have no. We thought that was cool,
Right.
but it's not cool. You say you got to pull that stuff out. You got to throw it away. That's garbage. So if it's garbage, it's supposed to be what? In the garbage.
Right. Yep.
Why you keep on walking around with it when you do realize that it's garbage?
Yep.
So, as being a believer, as being a new creature, a new man, a new woman, those things you got to get rid of. You can no longer hold on to those things. Those deeds are no more yours. You're no more supposed to be. He said, lie not one to another, seeing that you have pulled off the old man and the Sakar man with his deeds. So I mean with his doing or with his labor, whatever he was doing, you don't pull it off.
Right. Your
In
life.
other words, you don't go back to that no more.
Right.
You don't do that no more. In other words, you realize that that's not what you're supposed to be doing now, right?
That's right.
Those deeds were detrimental to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So therefore, you should not want to be doing those things anymore, right?
Yeah.
Those deeds will get you where? Into
That's right.
Yeah.
lake of fire.
That's right.
So the believers say, and have put on the new man. That's what you are now,
Yes.
which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him.
Hallelujah. Thank
So
you,
you've
Father.
been created after that image too. So therefore, you're putting away all those things that you had before.
Right.
That new man, you've been renewed in knowledge. The knowledge that you had, throw it out with the dirty water, all right?
Right.
Because it wasn't good. It wasn't profitable for you. Now this is profitable for you, right?
It is. Right. Yeah.
It is making sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
If it's making sense, here Yahweh agreed, hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Hallelujah to the Lamb.
Thank you, Father.
Yeah.
We have to put death, away from our life. Once we realize how to do it, we've been equipped to get away from that death that's been put up on us. Those passions that we have is not good for us, or those desires that we have are not good for us. You got to stop them.
Right.
That's right.
You are the one that have the strength to do it. You're the one that have the last say,
Amen.
whether I'm going to do it or not. Because you have the power. You're the one to say, okay, this is not right, therefore I'm not doing it.
Amen. That's right.
Or you can say that this is against Yahweh's word, so therefore I'm not doing it. Get away from me, Satan.
Right. Amen.
Okay? So you have the last say. You don't have to do it, but since you have the knowledge of what is going on, then you don't do that. That's just plain sense. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to understand that.
That's right.
So, we are being strengthened and renewed by the Kadash Ruach. Once you realize that this is all of the change, this is all that transformation of being what? Becoming that believer, becoming that one that's been resurrected from that spiritual death. You get strengthened and renewed by the Kadash Ruach. You have that spiritual renewal. That spiritual renewal back with Yahweh. Look at Psalm chapter 51. So, that's why you associate that you used to be running around with once they You get that renewal, they want to know what's wrong with you.
Yep.
What's happening? He don't want to do that. She don't want to do that no more. She don't have no fun. They don't know. They don't know what true fun is.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
All right, Psalm 51 and verse 10. And it reads,
For write in me a clean page, O Elohim, and renew a Yamain Ruach within me.
this is what we should be asking for. Once we come to Him, we ask Him for it, and we receive it. Once we ask anything in His Son's name, believe that we have received it already, then act on it like we have received it, right?
Yeah.
Confess that we have. He said, create in me a clean mind, O Yahweh, and renew a Yahweh spirit within me. So this is what Yahweh wants us to do, to get this. So we're going to be what? So we make us steadfast. Make us steadfast in Yahweh. Say, create in me a clean mind. So in other words, he implied that he had a bad mind, a dirty mind, right? So we have to clean up our mind.
Right.
So this man is calling and asking for the person who can do that for him. Create in me a new mind, O Yahweh, and renew a right spirit within me.
Yeah.
Give me the right spirit.
Yes.
So you want a right spirit? Ask Yahweh.
Amen.
And you can get it. Give you a right spirit, give you a clean spirit, give you the spirit that you need.
Iyshah.